Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be more thrilled, overjoyed, and excited to have somebody I've wanted to have on this podcast since starting the podcast. Angela Petrilli is here in the flesh right now, of Angela Petrilli and the Players, and also her wildly popular social media channels. Angela, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Honestly, 8 years, I think we determined.
I believe so.
Yeah, so Angela and I met through some, when I worked at Guitar Center. I did a lot of the artist shoots, and Angela was on many of them. Some of my earliest shoots, if not, I was thinking about this, possibly like the very first shoot, I think, was Roses and Cigarettes, an incredible project you were part of. And so I just was like, have been dying for a long time to get to chat with you in this way.
This is so great. I'm really excited.
Welcome to the podcast. Also, before we get into it, Angela, of everyone I've interviewed, and I love you all, has some of the coolest jewelry so far, but she is kind of a turquoise sister here. Show them.
Oh my gosh,
Show them.
yes.
Let's show camera A, camera
Yes,
A.
camera A,
Just,
camera B.
we spent, I think, 20 minutes going on about Santa Fe and all our favorite turquoise spots. So
It's good
make
stuff.
sure to pay extra attention to the jewelry in this episode.
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but would love to by Big Turquoise. So excited to have you, Angela. We have a lot to talk about today. Are you ready?
Let's go.
We have a lot of fun stuff. to
I'm
talk
ready.
about. Well, I first wanted to dive in. Now, I've been able to watch you evolve your career in so many cool directions over the years, but we have an album coming up. And I think that one of the things that you utilize in such a smart, unique way are the crowdfunding sources, things like Patreon and Kickstarter. And I think that everyone would love to hear a little bit more about that process from you. Can I ask some questions?
Yes.
In those
of course,
categories?
of course, of course. Okay, so Patreon or Kickstarter?
I want to start with Patreon. I want to
Okay.
ask how you got started with Patreon.
Okay, so I have to admit I had to be coerced. I had to be pushed into it a little bit by some very loving friends of mine who said, you have this massive following and there's people who want to support you and be a part of your journey in this way on this journey that you're on. And I was very particular about when I launched a Patreon. It was important to me to already have established a pretty strong presence on social media first, because I feel like if you're going to do Patreon, you need to have a big group of a follower base
Yes.
first in order to have the followers who are interested in becoming fans and who want to support you, because I think there's a big difference between followers and fans. So followers, you're on social media, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. Wow, I really like what this musician, this artist, this person is doing. I'm going to follow them. A fan is someone who's going to go to your shows, who's going to buy your merch, who's going to support you along your journey on Patreon or on Kickstarter. That's a fan. That's someone who believes in you. A follower, it's easy. It's free.
Yeah.
But we want to turn followers into fans.
And you found this more, I guess, true to form fan base coming over to Patreon.
I would say really when I saw like the people who really wanted to help me was in my first Kickstarter that I did for my EP, The Voices. And I knew I was in this new phase of my career where I have, done a lot of teaching and cover videos on Instagram and all of that stuff and covers on, Norman's Rare Guitars, those sorts of things. And I was like, I am ready to do my own new band, Angela Petrilli and the Players, and I'm ready to do new original material. And I wanted to reach out to those fans and say, hey, I've got this great project and I'd love for you to be a part of it and be on the journey with us. And it's really important to me to, really have people involved from the very beginning. It's like, see us as, I'm trying to pick out my album covers and come along with me as I am, picking out, where I'm going to do the photo shoot and where we're going to record this album. And okay, now it's, now we're tracking background vocals. So it's really important to me to have people, just be a part of the whole thing, and I guess, I don't know, maybe it's my Italian nature where we're just so welcoming of people and like, come over and eat. I got lasagna. I made a bunch. There's always room for one more. Like I've just been so raised that way. And it's so important to me to have people, if they are fans, I want you to be along the journey. I want you to be involved. And with something like Patreon, it's so cool to how I have mine set up is, it's a once a month chat. And I think that's a big thing with Patreon too, is before you really dive in, really think about what you can handle. Because don't bite off more than you can chew. Because if you promise all this stuff, you better deliver.
Yeah.
Got to deliver. So with my schedule, because not only do I, play as a session player, I do lots of content videos, I teach, I write, and I wear many, many hats as a musician. And also I just love what I do, and I like to be creative in all sorts of aspects of my life and career. So it's important before you really dive into the Patreon, really make sure that you do what you can handle. So for me, it's a once a month chat, and checking in with fans like, "Hey, here's what I'm doing today." I love to do a Q&A. I like to call it office hours because I have a Riff Rundown weekly on YouTube where I
Yes.
teach people, some of my favorite songs in a live stream format, no edits, just like, here's what I felt like teaching today, and let's have some fun. And I like to call the hangout office hours because it allows people to ask me questions about the gear I use and, what's going on with, new songs I'm writing, like stuff like that. So it's very important. Again, I want to mention it again. It's when you start a Patreon, make sure, you can deliver and you don't want to burn out because that's really scary and awful, especially as a creative.
It's
Really don't
true.
want that to happen.
You don't wanna burn out, and you also, they're paying for addition
Yes.
they're asking you to entertain them through that paid tier, and it kind of does beg the question, do you ever get any sort of wild questions in there, or what are some of your memorable, Patreon experiences you've had so far?
Gosh, I'll tell you what, everyone I have on there could not be cooler and ask just really not only just very inquisitive questions, but questions that I, especially like as an artist and as a creative, I absolutely love. Like, okay, what's your process? How did you write that song? Like, how did you write Ghost Inside a Frame? How did that song happen? Or when you were in the studio, what made you want to do XYZ? Like, to folks when we meet up for office hours every month, it's just really great solid questions. I can't say it's anything crazy and outlandish. Like it's a group of creatives and like-minded people. Like a lot of the folks on my Patreon are guitar players too, or they're musicians too, or they're really just passionate music appreciators, and those are the kind of questions that they ask. And that's
Yeah.
why I still just love to do that once a month because they really bring it. They bring some really great questions where I have to really think about 'em, like, "Huh, what was I thinking when I wrote that song? What was I thinking? Why did I choose that particular
Oh,
guitar in
yeah.
that song?" You know what I mean? They're great questions, and it's really built into a really beautiful community. It's been really, really enjoyable.
Has Patreon, in any sort of way become a significant part of your income? In the sense that, is Patreon something that is fueling your independent artist career in a significant way?
It certainly helps. It certainly helps, and I think as an independent musician, as an artist, it's important to wear many hats. We can't just do one thing, so it certainly helps.
It certainly helps. Well, I think I also want to chat with you a little bit about Kickstarter. You just launched for what is to be a new album on the way, a Kickstarter.
Yes.
And I actually think there's a lot more sort of, I would say, independent artist knowledge around Patreon, but not as much surprisingly in the Kickstarter world. So tell us a little bit about what Kickstarter is and why you chose it to help fund your new album.
I I am someone I am a bit of a risk taker. I want to preface with that. I like Kickstarter. So what it is first is it is a platform, it's a fundraising platform. You create a campaign for a certain amount of days and you have to raise. So if you say this is going to be a $20,000 project, if you do not hit that 20,000 number, okay, within that certain time frame that you put in, you don't get the money at all. You don't get a
That's
single
right.
cent.
I always forget that about Kickstarter.
You don't get a single cent.
You don't get it.
So what's why I really like it. That is very scary on paper. You need to be very, honest, like, okay, how much is it going to cost to mix, master, rent a studio, pay musicians, pay for copyrights, XYZ music videos, press campaigns, like all of this stuff. vinyl pressing, right? You got to think about all this stuff. You have to be very honest. Okay. And you got to do your due diligence. Okay. How much is a mixer going to cost? You got to go through and do all of this. Is it absolutely frightening that you may not get that money? Sure. That's part of the risk. Why I like it. And this again goes back to how much I absolutely respect and appreciate my fans is that you give them something in return. They give you $10 towards your campaign. Well, you're going to get a digital download of the album. If they give you $100, all right, well, maybe that's a signed poster and a whole bunch of merch. It's important for me to give back. If you were going to give to me, I want to give to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I actually, until right this moment, forgot that that's a huge factor into Kickstarter.
Oh, it's massively scary.
You will not get if it doesn't fund all the way, you don't end up with the cash. I guess also, we talked about both Patreon and Kickstarter. What would make you want to go that riskier Kickstarter route? Why not just maybe expand the tiers on Patreon and try to grow that fan base? What is sort of your reasoning for choosing something like Kickstarter in that case?
I want to give back to my fans who give to me. I want to give back. I want to make sure that they have an opportunity. It's like, if you believe in me and you believe in this project, I want to make sure that you get a really awesome signed album. I want to make sure that whatever your tier base is, that I give you something great. That's really, really important to me. That's worth the risk to me. That's worth the risk to me.
It is. It's worth the
Yeah.
risk. I hear you and feel, because I'm in the room with you, the passion that you have for your fan base. I want to ask, and we'll talk definitely about your content and building digital fans online, but what does it mean growing this fan base over the years? What do your fans really mean to you now in your career?
I mean, the voices is because those 318 fans on Kickstarter who helped us raise that money to make that. I am so incredibly grateful. I'm so, honestly, it was just in a time in my life, I really needed to express what I was feeling. And we're so lucky as musicians to be able to do that. It's such a gift, like, that we are able to create music. It just kind of comes from the ether. I don't know about you, like, when you're writing songs, sometimes they're just kind of given to you.
Absolutely. Or you get like, what a blessing to channel how we actually feel creatively into something physical that then people get to react to and react positively.
I don't take it for granted a single day. And I'm so incredibly grateful to those fans that helped me and my band, like, have something, like, I'm so proud of. Like, I'll be able to look back on that in 20, 30 years, be like, man, that was a lot of fun. 5 of us got in a room at Sunset Sound and we got to make that.
Angela, I want to start talking to you a little bit about your content. Angela has some of the honestly most celebrated and loved guitar content on social media. I probably don't need to tell you, if you're seeing this, you've seen her face around Norm's Rare Guitars, her YouTube channel. For those who don't know, Angela has this really cool setup where she does it's pretty much a cover where you're going through how the riff, basically breaking down a riff from a really popular classic rock or just sort of classic song. I want to ask how you're choosing these songs for this series.
I wish I had, like, a really amazing, insightful answer to that question. I pick what I feel like playing. And that's it. That's it. I am so thankful. My friends at Fishman who have been supporting me with this Riff Rundown since COVID. That's where it started. They reached out and they're like, hey, we'd love to do a live stream with you once a week. And I'm like, okay, that's absolutely terrifying. But I said yes because it was terrifying.
Does it come out on the Fishman channel too?
It comes out on mine. And then I always make sure to plug them because I have loved their gear even before I started working with them. So this was just so wonderful. It's been, like, such a gift. They're, like, such a great group of guys and just such a wonderful company and that they believe in me and my vision and my artistry. I could not be, like, I couldn't be more grateful for that. I wish I had a crazy, amazing answer. It's just like, sometimes I'll be I'm honest, sometimes I'll be driving my car and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot how great that song is. I need to teach that one this week.
Oh
I'll
my
just
gosh.
do it.
It's funny because, like, just if you were to sort of pin yourself as an outsider looking at the channel, it's a lot of classic rock. And you just absolutely crush some of the most, like, the tone, everything's beautiful with it, but it's a lot of classic rock. And I was like, I feel like I'm overdue to ask Angela, is this a conscious decision? Are these fans that really lean into and hike up the views and interactions on that content? Is that what pulls you towards it?
What pulls me towards classic rock
Yeah,
is I love it.
love it.
Is I love it. That's the music of my childhood. My mom grew up in Detroit, so like Detroit Rock City, like classic rock was always playing my house as a kid. And I am just so incredibly inspired by that genre of music. I love it. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Pink Floyd, all that. I just so love it. Now, there are many other genres that I love too. There is something just so spirited and just so wonderful and completely inspiring to me about classic rock that I absolutely love. And just like my Instagram channel and the covers that I post there, same thing with my Riff Rundown. I play the music that I like. And that's where I gauge everything in what I do. In the music that I write, in the covers that I play, it's what I like. And if it's what you like too, welcome along the journey. But I do it for me.
You
I
do
do
it
it
for
for me.
you. And, off camera when you first got here, we were talking a little bit about some of the gear that I used for the podcast. I wanted to ask you that you've really dialed in what the Riff Rundown look and sound is. You really have, honestly. Tell us what your setup is. Like, can people replicate the Riff Rundown setup?
Yeah. So see that Focusrite? That Scarlett
Yeah, we've got
Focusrite's
I
off
love
camera.
my Focusrite 8i8. That's what
That's
we have.
exactly what I use, the 8i8.
Okay.
Okay. And then I got some cool lights. Mine actually hook on to to my desk, but that's
This
it,
is the
folks.
rig.
That's the rig.
So I also want to talk to you a little bit about making solo music when you do have a really popular series about cover songs. Where does that creative arm fit into all this? The ability to be making, not making, but releasing your own sort of solo projects as an artist.
Okay, that's a really good question. How I look at it is, in order to start building a fan base, follower base, it's important to do some things that are familiar. So, it's helpful to get people in to be like, hey, this is the stuff that I like to play. I like playing classic rock. I love playing these acoustic kind of covers. I like doing this and this. When people don't know who you are, it's like, well, let me show you something that you do know. And then you can kind of get to know me and the stuff that inspires me to play as an artist. And once they are following you along your journey, it's like, hey, and I write original music too. And if you dig the stuff and the covers that I like, you'll probably like the original stuff that I do. So for me as an artist, it's so important to have your own original music and to play it out and to, really chase your curiosity as an artist. And, really it's so important to satiate those things because we need to create our own art that is uniquely us. That is very, very important. So when it comes to covers, I use that as like, hey, come get to know me. This is the stuff that I like.
Is it important that those covers match the tone and the sound and production of what comes out of the original music?
No, not necessarily. I don't think so.
You've never found that there's any issue in that type of crossover?
How I look at it, my original music is for me. It's for me. And it's the stuff that in my head, this is what I'm hearing and this is what's coming out. And I write my original music for me. And if folks happen to connect with it and respond to it and enjoy it, that's gravy to me. I make original music for me.
For you.
I make it for me. It's going to be a common theme in this thing. I create for me because I love it. And it's an expression of what I do.
It is. Tell me a little bit of what is coming here in this new album that you are writing, in terms of what are you drawing on inspiration-wise?
I think so. I really got to know my Les Paul very, very, very well over these last couple of years. And I really wanted to make sure that it was absolutely heard on this album. That's what just I was hearing and the songs that I was writing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be riff heavy. This is going to be much heavier. There's going to be a lot more guitar overdubs because I didn't want a lot of overdubs on the voices. I wanted it to be a very pure album, very like in the studio. Here's 5 people in the room and here's what we got. You know, with additional overdubs, obviously. I did my vocals another time, and we had some background vocals come in and that sort, and some other instrumentation, of course. But with this album, me and the guys who really talked about it, it's like, all right, I said this vision, I just want it to feel bigger and grittier. I want to push the envelope. I want to do like kind of weird stuff. That's just what I was feeling. And the lyrics I was writing and the riffs I was coming up with. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a heavy guitar album. And it needs to be an album. I feel like I really have a story to tell. I'm thinking 8 to 9 songs. I've got 7 in the can right now.
It's in the works as we're recording.
Yeah.
It is
It's but I like that, and I like having a little fire under my butt. Okay, we already booked the studio for the end of September. So I'm like, all right, I got like 2 more to go. That would make 9, but if it's 8, it's 8. Zeppelin did 8, song albums, and they were awesome. But it's important to me to write the music that gives me goosebumps and to really chase those goosebumps and to chase my curiosity. I'm like, ooh, I like this. Oh, I like this melody. This is really interesting. Let me chase this.
Are you going to place a lot of pressure on this new music to be contributing to the maybe financial or career moves steps of what comes next for you? Or
No, I'm just creating it because I want it to be out.
creating it because we want it to be out?
I just want it to be out. And this is an expression of, okay, it's been 4 years since we released The Voices. And here's, a timestamp of where I'm at now. I don't put any sort of pressure on it. Needs to do this and it needs to make this amount of money. And I'm like, no, it just needs to exist. And that's it. It just needs to exist. And I can look back on it and be absolutely proud of it. Like, man, me and some of my best friends made a really kick-ass album. To me, that is success. With the original music, that's success. That's it. It exists. And it is here, and it's honest, and it's authentic, and it's real. That's it. Everything else is gravy to me. Well, great. Okay, Rolling Stone will rate up about it. Cool. That's wonderful. But to me, it is successful because it exists.
All right, Angela Petrilli, I have some sort of rapid fire hot seat questions for you.
Go.
All right. Now, for those who don't know, though many of you probably do, Angela Petrilli is a fixture over at the Norm's Rare Guitars, a really well-known vintage and rare guitar shop here in LA, really across the world. They have a huge social media presence. They have a documentary on Netflix right now. Angela Petrilli is, long before documentary fame, has been featured in Norm's for years. I just want to ask you one very, very important question. Does Norm's smell as good as it looks in all the footage online?
Like the vintage guitar smell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me
100%.
some, like,
The back
descriptor words.
room. The back room is so iconic. And yeah, you feel the vibes.
What's the humidity like in there?
It's fine. There's no cracked
solid.
spruce tops. It's good. It's wonderful. It's great. I love Norman's.
In all seriousness, it's one of the coolest collaborations. Clearly, I can see you've been a part of. Tell me, what experiences have come from working there and working with that team a little bit?
Oh my gosh, I again just come from a place of such deep gratitude and respect to Norm and Jen and Lemo and Mark and Joey and the entire team. I'm so grateful. It's been 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. I've been doing videos for them. It's been 10
How did
years.
it start?
I walked in one day and I'm like, I've never been here and I'm going to play some guitars. And then I started playing some guitars and Jordan, Norm's son, came up to me and he goes, can we film you? Can we do a quick video? I'm like, sure. And then I met Jen, who has become such a dear friend and who has shot numerous videos for the players. And that's where it started. And they're like, we'd love for you to come back. And it's been 10 years.
Tell me about a couple of your favorite guitars in Norm's collection. Acoustic or electric? I'll let you pick here. Wild card.
Okay, there was a stunning 1940 1942 triple O or 1941 triple O 42 Martin guitar.
Okay.
That was stunning. And I went in there on my birthday and Mark's like, got something for you to play. It was insanely beautiful. That was a really special one. They have gotten some incredible Martin guitars in there that I've gotten to play. I can't even tell you. D28s and triple O's and just some stunning guitars, along with some, just killer electrics that I've played as well. It's pretty awesome. Murphy Lab Les Pauls and some really great, early 60s Strats.
That surf sound, right?
Yeah, and I there was this particular custom shop Telecaster that I did a guitar of the day on, and it was awesome. It was like this crimson burst with a black pickguard, and I just remember like, man, this thing is awesome, and whoever gets this Tele is so lucky. This thing's great. And then I get a call from Jen a couple days later after they aired the episode, and she's like, "Hey, can you come in? Someone's really interested in buying that guitar. Can you do a quick little demo that we can send to them?" And this happens all the time. Like Lemo,
Really?
oh yeah, like they'll get a call, like someone will call in and go, "Hey, the guitar of the day from a few days ago, I'd love to hear it. Can you just send a quick, little demo?" And they will. So that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, well, sure, I'll drive up. And I noticed Jen got her big camera, and I'm like, something's different. And sure enough, a very, very lovely fan bought it for me.
Bought you the guitar.
It's on, you can watch it on YouTube.
Oh my God.
And I got to chat with him after, and just such a lovely man. And he goes, "I've just had such a blessed life. And I just want to thank you for what you've given me and for what you've given so many other musicians and, admirers of just what you do and how you do it." And he goes, "I saw you play that guitar and I knew you had to have it. So I wanted to give it to you." Oh my God, I can just cry right now.
Oh, the chills.
Yeah.
I have never seen that on YouTube. I need to watch that.
It blew my mind. Just how kind, like there are some pretty kind people there. That absolutely blew me away. And I play that guitar all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about your history in working with other music brands, Fishman, Martin Guitar. How do these relationships really start out?
So I'm going to start with Fishman. And you're going to
Okay.
be very excited about my answer for Mark.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay. So with Fishman, I was at NAMM with my bandmate from Roses and Cigarettes, Jenny Pagliaro. And we were at the Martin booth. And Robert Goetzel, who's become just such a dear friend, he's like, "Hey, we do this dinner. I'm going to give you a ticket. Come to the dinner." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm someone, and again, I'm Italian. I'm not going to say no to a dinner. And especially if you want to build business, all joking aside, if you want to build, business partnerships, say yes to the dinner. Always say yes to the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes to the outing, like go to the dinner. Go to the dinner. So I'm like, great. We were starving too. So obviously, I'm like, yes, we're going.
Food involved.
And it's, oh my gosh. And it's so lovely. So we went to the dinner and we got there a little bit late. So it's, a huge banquet. We're like, oh boy. Not a ton of places to sit. We keep walking, and I'm a listen to your gut kind of gal. And I was walking and I'm like, we're going to sit at this table. So I sit down and I sit next to this guy named Chris Maria, and he is head of A&R at Fishman. And we get to chatting. Such a lovely human being. Again, has become a dear friend. And again, he's A&R at Fishman, and he goes, "Hey, if you ever find yourself in Boston, let me know." And it has been a beautiful partnership ever since.
Wow. And you just naturally followed through there. Nothing pitching yourself.
No, not at all.
Just followed through that.
Not at all. And
wonderful.
it was just such a beautiful thing. And again, it's just such a wonderful man. And I mean, many of the artists that he works with, I'm sure can attest to how wonderful Chris is and how he's someone who really cares about artists. I would say, am I always looking for brand partnerships? No, I'm a building relationships kind of gal. It's like I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm like, this is what I do. This is my art. This is my artistry. This is who I am. And that's the way I like to, really put myself out in the world. And like, what you see is what you get. That's what I am, you know? And I do want to circle back to the Martin thing.
Yeah, of course.
So when you were, I don't even know if you know the story, but I'm going to tell you.
Oh my gosh.
So it all started from this. So I went to UCLA for communication, so I got my degree in. I am a big fan of like connecting the dots and people meeting people and hubs and how things connect and how life gives you these interesting moments, right? So there was a moment where you're probably just a fresh greenhorn at Guitar Center.
Probably back in the day.
And there was an instance where Roses and Cigarettes was going to do something, and then something like kind of happened and we couldn't do it anymore. And I said, because the answer is always no if you don't ask. So I remember I was emailing with you. You probably don't remember this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I was emailing with him like, hey, I know this didn't work out, but maybe Roses and Cigarettes can do like a social takeover at Guitar Center.
I do remember this.
Do you remember this
I
now?
do remember this.
So remember it was an acoustic thing, and it was Jenny and I, and we were at the headquarters.
Yes.
And we played for an hour and we answered questions, and it was great. I was playing my 00017, the Black Martin that I play. And ooh, I get chills like talking about this. And, you guys put out those videos and they were great. We had so much fun. It was that might have been the first time like we met in person,
was.
perhaps. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This was very early.
So
for me.
I want to send like so much gratitude to you on this. Because of those videos, the folks at Martin saw that, and then they invited us to Nazareth, and it was because of those videos at Guitar Center. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank me. I want to thank your incredible Martin guitar playing.
Yeah, well,
That very most likely
thank you.
caught their attention. No, I'm getting chills. What advice would you give to maybe somebody who doesn't understand the LA scene well when you say things like go to the dinner or keep up these friendships or relationships with these folks at these brand companies? What advice would you give them for maybe if they're in a remote place trying to get the attention of some of these music brands?
Be authentic to yourself and your art. Be authentic. Cream rises to the top, and they will find you. Just be real. Play what you love. Write the music that comes from your heart. I know it's a very like flowery kind of answer, but it is so true. I mean, that's how I started with all my stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post videos of songs that I like, and I'm going to play the guitars that I like, and I'm just going to do what feels right to me in this moment, and just being authentic to yourself as an artist. That's it. That's it. I wish I had a better answer for you, but that's really what it is.
Perfect answer.
That's the answer.
There's so much Angela Petrilli content out there. I hope you guys, after watching this, go check her out. I have one more question left for you, Angela.
Okay.
Last week, at the time of filming this, or recently, I should say, you appeared in a Guitar Center YouTube video with Miss Molly Miller.
Yes.
Molly Miller is actually also going to be interviewed on this season of the podcast, just by complete coincidence. I want to take this opportunity to give you the chance to ask Molly a question about some sort of like a guitar gear question. Like we want to really get her. We want to get something good out of Molly. What would you ask her when I sit down with her for the podcast?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I want to say how incredibly inspired I was playing with Molly and like finally meeting Molly, because we have so many friends in common, and it was so awesome to like finally meet her and play with her and her amazing trio. Those guys are great.
Yep.
Like what a great band. They're just such a wonderful unit. Gosh, as far as a gear question, I mean, what I would love to ask her is, what's the guitar that continuously inspires you to want to be a better musician?
Molly, what's the guitar?
Easy. Thank God she asked me an easy question. I have every guitar is inspiring, right? Really. Like, I feel like that's like not every, actually. I retract that comment. I think guitars make you play differently, and that's actually inspiring. But I have like my baby. It's my 1978 335 that I have had since I was like 16, 17 years old. That's my babe. That's my answer. It'd be in bed with me if I was not weird.
Angela, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to leave these fine folks with? Where can they find you? What's coming up here that they should know about?
Yeah, AngelaPetrilliMusic.com is my website. You can find out all of the information there. On Instagram, Angela Petrilli Music. My Riff Rundown is on every Saturday at noon Pacific
They're
on
great,
YouTube.
guys. They're so great. You
They're
gotta
so
watch
fun.
those.
Join the chat. It's a great community. Everyone's cool. Again, we're all students of the craft, including myself. I always like to end every lesson with that. It's like, listen, I'm still learning too. And I mean, that just goes with life, like in general. I am a constant, like, work in progress always. I am continuously humbled by the instrument every single day. I just try to stay curious. So I would say, folks, like, stay curious when you're playing. Stay curious.
Stay curious, have fun, be authentic, and watch Angela's videos. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank
Buy My
you
Merch
so much. So
podcast.
good to see you, Marilyn. This was great.